Hey guys, CJ here, and welcome back to an all-new Friday edition of Hybrid News Now. We've got a few big stories for you today, starting off with Captain America Civil War first reviews coming a lot sooner than people were expecting, an official confirmation about characters in the Spider-Man reboot, and our first hint about the tone of Wonder Woman. So let's dive into our top story, first reactions about Captain America Civil War. And we reported a little over a week back that Civil War was set to be screened for industry members and select press folks at CinemaCon in Las Vegas on April 13th, almost 3 weeks before the movie is set to be released. At the time, it looked like that was going to be the very first kind of public screening, and I told you in one of these videos to look for first reactions on Twitter and Facebook and all that around then. Well, it looks like that's not the case. Brace yourself, ready or not. If you want to, you could go find first reactions tonight. Yes, later tonight, members of the press will see Captain America Civil War for the first time. This was actually first let slip in a tweet from Steve Weintraub, Collider Frosty himself, first on Twitter, who also revealed that the embargo is going to lift on April 13th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, more or less right around when people are getting out of the CinemaCon screening. To say this is a bold move on Marvel's part is an incredible understatement. I mean, if you thought a Cloak and Dagger TV show was the ultimate confidence play for the company, step back a second. Marvel is letting reviews about this movie hit the web almost a month before the movie comes out. This is almost unheard of in Hollywood, especially in this industry in particular, where most embargoes are lifted just days before release. So this video also serves as a little heads up to you guys. If you're trying to avoid spoilers, I'd avoid Twitter and Facebook for, about the next month. There was also a fan screening for the 14th announced on Twitter, but tickets for that went flying off the shelves and were unavailable in just minutes. So let me know in the comment section below if you managed to snag tickets to one of those fan screenings, because I will find you and steal them from you. Stay tuned here at the Hybrid Network for more on this movie and more when the embargo lifts next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And in our next story, after weeks of reports about the tone of Suicide Squad, we finally heard our first rumblings about the tone of Wonder Woman. As part of her promotion for Batman v Superman, Gal Gadot spoke with Digital Spy about her character in the movie and her role moving forward. Let's check out her quote. In Batman v Superman, you get a glimpse of who she is, but not where she comes from. In Wonder Woman, this would be the first time we ever tell the coming-of-age story of how Diana becomes Wonder Woman. We go back 100 years to when she's more naive. She's this young idealist. She's pure, very different to the experienced, super confident, grown-up woman you've seen. That actually sounds really cool to me, and it's going to be one of the more interesting aspects of the movie, to watch Gal's Diana transition from this young, naive girl, as she said, to this incredibly confident and badass Wonder Woman that we just saw on screen. But what about the tone? When pressed, Gal answered with this. It's very interesting. It has its moments of humor, but it's pretty dark. Now that might be ringing alarm bells in some of your heads, but honestly, it kind of makes sense to me. I mean, the movie is supposed to be set in World War I, not the most humorous time, so hopefully the film can just strike the right balance. And in our last story of the day, a confirmation of a rumor that's been making the rounds over the last couple of months. When the time comes for SpiderMan Solo film, let's just say he won't be going it alone. Entertainment Weekly has learned from Kevin Feige himself that the expectation at the moment is for other MCU characters to appear. Now, Feige wouldn't share exactly who shows up, but Joe Russo jokingly suggested the Great Lakes Avengers. That's probably a joke, though I would love to see Flatman on screen at some point. The best bet is probably Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark, who I expect by the end of Civil War to be well and truly retired, but this time for real, not like the other 3 or 4 times before. And maybe he'd be able to play a mentor role to the young Peter Parker, kind of the same role that he played in Charlie Bartlett. Anyone get the reference? If you did. But that wraps it up for another week and another Hybrid News Now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you liked what you saw. Subscribe for more great content every single day. And please support us on Patreon if you like our videos and want us to keep making them. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.